They told you humility was strength. They told you to shrink, to blend in, to wait your turn. But what if that was the lie that's killing your dreams? You ever wonder why you've been stuck, like your ambitions buffering on hotel Wi-Fi? Not falling, just circling. It's not because you aren't talented. It's because you're playing by rules built to keep you humble. And in a world built to break the unremarkable, the only thing more dangerous than failure is playing it safe. That was the moment he snapped. Not because he was arrogant, but because he realized there's no glory in disappearing quietly. This isn't about ego. This is about survival. Welcome to Blue Lock, the anime that pretends it's about soccer, but it's actually a war on your comfort zone. You ever notice how we all love the idea of being a team player? But sometimes that's just fear wearing a jersey. Probably number 00, because no one picked it. He passed because he thought it was noble, because teamwork is what he was taught. But inside, he was just scared. Scared to take the shot, scared to miss, scared to be blamed. You ever been there? The group project where you do supporting tasks but never lead? The job where you help out but never pitch your own idea? That moment wasn't selfish, it was real. It was talent stepping forward instead of hiding behind the illusion of cooperation. Because here's the brutal truth. Sometimes, teamwork is just a disguise for timidity. Dr. Adam Grant, a psychologist at Wharton, once said, "Givers are overrepresented at the bottom and the top of every success ladder." Translation, helping doesn't hurt you, but hiding behind helping, that will ruin you. Most people say, "I just want to support the team," but what they mean is, "I'm too afraid to step up and fail." So here's your mirror. What dream are you letting die because you don't want to look selfish? Go ahead, pour one out for your mixtape, your Twitch stream, or that online store you swore you'd launch in 2020. Next time you hear yourself say, "I'm just trying to help," stop. Ask, am I hiding my potential because it's easier than owning it? Asagi stopped passing. He started playing for keeps. So should you. Ever say, "I'm just figuring things out right now"? Be honest. Are you figuring it out? Or are you just afraid to decide? Clarity isn't some divine lightning bolt. It doesn't hit you in a dream. You choose it, and then you suffer the consequences. See, most people aren't lost. They're just stuck in try-everything mode. Because if you don't commit, you can't fail. Smart, right? Nope. It's the slowest way to drown. You ever have that friend? They change majors every semester. Next semester, Intro to Avoidance 101, with a minor in self-doubt. They change jobs every 6 months. New passion project every week. But deep down, they're not curious. They're scared. Because when you choose something, you also choose everything else you'll miss. You want to know why Blue Lock works? Because it forces you to choose. You either evolve or you get eliminated. Philosopher Soren Kierkegaard once said, "Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom." You've got too many doors, too many versions of you, like a Netflix queue of personality traits, none of them finished, and it's making you sick. You want clarity? Stop trying to be everything. Be someone. Pick a mission. Burn the other maps. Write down one area of your life where you keep figuring it out. Now rewrite it like this. I'm not confused. I'm scared to commit because. Now go do the thing that scares you. That's clarity, not comfort. Ever met someone who's so busy all the time? Training, journaling, meditating, reading books, grinding content, but still no real progress? All hustle, no muscle, emotionally speaking. That's not discipline. That's disguised avoidance. He wasn't lazy. He was hiding behind injuries, doubts, excuses. But the second he stopped protecting himself, he became unstoppable. Same with Baru. Episode 8. Everyone tells him to pass more, be a team player. He doesn't. He scores because he didn't confuse fitting in with getting better. Here's the truth. You can do 1,000 useful things and still avoid the one thing that would actually change you. You know that guy, the one who hits the gym daily but still drinks till 2 a.m. on weekends? Or the girl who plans everything in her cute notebook but still won't have the one conversation she's been avoiding for a year? That's not growth. That's self-soothing. And if you're not careful, your routine becomes your shield from responsibility. But let's be real. It's more yoga mat than armor. Discipline without direction is just distraction with a six-pack. Psychologist Angela Duckworth, in her book Grit, wrote, "Passion and perseverance for long-term goals, that is what predicts success. Not motion, mission." So ask yourself this: is your hustle actually helping, or is it keeping you comfortable in discomfort? Audit your schedule. If rearrange playlists is on there more than once, we need to talk. Circle every task you've done this week. Then ask, is this sharpening my edge or just helping me avoid the real war? They told you ego is the enemy, that you should be humble, modest, small. But in Blue Lock, ego isn't your flaw, it's your fuel. See, ego isn't yelling. It isn't arrogance. It's the voice that says, I was built for this. Not in a Marvel origin story way, more like, I ate enough doubt to build a monster, even when no one else sees it. Most people confuse ego with insecurity. Insecurity screams for attention. Ego, it builds quietly. You want to know why these players evolve? Because they stop apologizing for wanting more. They stop flinching. They start owning. Nietzsche once said, you must become who you are. Translation, stop pretending, start becoming. Most people never meet their real selves because they're too busy trying to be liked. But Asagi, Bakira, Rin, they shed the masks. They didn't become monsters, they became honest. Big difference. One wears fangs, the other just stops lying. And that kind of ego, it's not evil, it's essential. Write down one selfish thing your soul wants. Not what's nice, not what's safe, the raw, real desire. Now ask yourself, what kind of life would earn that? And start building it. But what if you did own your ego and still failed? Ever get rejected so hard you start wondering if the universe just personally hates you? Blue Lock characters get cut like they're on a reality show hosted by a demon. Most of us take rejection as a death sentence. One failed audition, one ignored pitch, one ghosted text, and suddenly you're spiraling like an anime villain in the rain. But rejection doesn't mean you're not good enough. Sometimes it just means you're in the wrong arena. Psychologist Dr. Guy Winch once wrote that emotional wounds from rejection actually trigger the same brain pathways as physical pain. So yeah, it hurts, but also it heals. You've been avoiding rejection like it's an X at the grocery store. Meanwhile, Blue Lock players are out there getting crushed and coming back sharper. Rejection isn't a stop sign. It's a reroute, and sometimes it's the only thing that wakes up your real potential. You're not fragile, you're forged, but only if you let the rejection burn off your ego, not your mission. Think of one time you got rejected and made it mean something it didn't. Now rewrite the story. That wasn't a no, that was training. You've been polite for too long, humble, quiet, apologizing for the dream that won't shut up inside you. But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone your silence. You don't owe the world your smallness, your doubt, your watered-down version of who you are. You owe yourself the future that's waiting on the other side of discomfort. Because Blue Lock isn't about soccer. It's about what happens when you stop flinching and start choosing yourself. Everyone's telling you to wait your turn, to be nice, to be likable. But the truth, your potential isn't polite, it's hungry. So stop asking for permission. Stop apologizing for wanting more. You're not selfish, you're ready. And that might just be the most dangerous thing you've ever been. Want more? Be more.